live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A very good evening to you and a warm welcome to the news live on Channel I, Rupavahini, bringing you the latest from Sri Lanka and around the globe. I'm Sharifa Tahir.
A very good evening and I'm Kenza Farooq. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
A 3-day mourning period for the departed veteran singer Dr. Nanda Malini. Funeral to be held tomorrow in the evening at the Baralla Public Cemetery. Silence observed in Parliament for Nanda Malini. A discussion regarding the progress and the future plans of the program implemented to confront the El Nino condition led by the President. 25,600 families in 7 districts in distress due to the severe dry weather condition. More than 33,000 affected. 5 persons die in an accident occurred at Kumbukkana Monaragala. Nation bids farewell to Venerable Rambukkana Siddhartha Thera. Former Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan referred to a medical examination. We now move on to those and other stories in detail. Veteran singer Visharada Dr. Nanda Malini, acclaimed as the echo of the nation for her exceptional service to Sri Lankan music, passed away yesterday afternoon at the age of 82.
Now the government has declared 3 days mourning period from today over her demise.
යදමින් බැඳ විලංගුලා මගේ පුතා රැගෙන යන් ඉන්දි කටු ඇන ඇඟිලි තලා දෙතිස් වදය පමුණුවන්.
Born on August 23, 1943, in Lewanduwa, Alutkama, she received her education at Sri Gunananda College in Kotahena, Colombo. She later began her musical journey by singing the song Buddha Sadhu on the Lama Mandapya program of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Silly, silly,
In 1961, she entered film playback singing by performing the duet Galana Gangaki Jeevithe along with Narada Disasekara for Sri Lanka's first colour film Ran Mutuduwa. Nanda Malini, who enriched the Sinhala song tradition for decades, studied classical music at the Bhatkand Music Institute in India, earning her Visharada degree. Marking significant milestones in Sinhala music culture, her musical concerts such as Satyaye Geethaya, Bhavana and Hemantayedi left an indelible mark on the public consciousness. She also took steps to create children's songs, including Sindhu Hodia. In recognition of her outstanding vocal skills, she was honored with numerous national and international awards, including 12 Sarasavia Awards and 10 Presidential Awards for Best Female Vocalist. The University of Visual and Performing Arts conferred upon her an honorary doctorate in recognition of her dedicated service and contribution to the field of music.
නෙලාගත හැකි වන මලක් දී වහින්නට හැකි නම් ගිගුම්දී වියලි ගම්විල් වලට ඉහළින් ඉදෙන්නට හැකි නම්
The remains of Dr. Nanda Malini are now lying at her residence at number 30 Vijayabhamawatha, Navala. The final rites will be performed at the Barala General Cemetery at 5 p.m. tomorrow.
රැඳෙන්නට හැකි නම් ළමා කැල හඬන දෙතොලද සිනාවක් වී පිපෙන්නට හැකි නම් තුරින් තුර නෙලාගත හැකි වන මලක් වී වහින්නට හැකි නම් ගිගුම් දී වියලි ගම්බිම් වලට ඉහළින් ඉදෙන්නට හැකි නම් බතක් වී බතක් නොයිදෙන පැලක රහසින් නිදන්නට හැකි නම් දෙනෙත් තුල සැබෑවන සුබ සීනයක් වී ගැයෙන්නට හැකි නම් දුරින් දොර ලොවම පුබුදන ගීතයක් වී වහින්නට හැකි නම් ගිගුම් වී වියලි ගම්බිම් වලට ඉහළින් ඉදෙන්නට හැකි නම් බතක් වී බතක් නොයිදෙන පැලක රහසින්.
Now, 1 minute silence was observed in the Parliament today for departed veteran songstress Dr. Nanda Malini in remembrance of the decades of her service to Sri Lankan music as well to the society.
Later, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, leader of the opposition, and the Speaker presented their condolence messages. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya stated that she was deeply saddened to hear the passing of Dr. Nanda Malini, who has been honoured as a golden voice in Sri Lankan music and had enriched the country's music and culture with a unique singing persona for nearly 8 decades. She mentioned that as a listener whose life experiences had been accompanied by her songs, she felt her loss was not merely the loss of a peerless artistic figure in Sri Lankan music, but also the departure of a familiar voice that had stayed close to their lives and memories during times of both joy and pain. The Prime Minister added that her songs had quietly accompanied her generation through daily life and that her singing career represented not just an era in song art, but a living expression of the country's social life, community circles, and human emotions. She observed that going beyond human feelings like love and grief, she gave a voice through her songs to the pain, fears, hopes, and struggles of the public, which made her voice feel like the voice of their society rather than just an individual singer. The Premier noted that Dr. Nanda Malini was never an artist detached from society, having fearlessly raised her voice for peace, harmony, humanity, and social justice without remaining silent before injustice. Through creative interventions like Pavana and Satyaya Geetaya, she had demonstrated how an artist's voice could speak for society's pain and rekindle human sensitivity to inspire hope for a better society. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya shared that she held many personal memories attached to Dr. Nanda Malini's songs, some heard during happy moments, others tied to silent or painful times, and others speaking directly on their behalf as they faced social experiences. She emphasized that above all honors and respect received, the love she won in the hearts of generations marked the true value of her artistic legacy, which is why her voice left so close to her and her generation. Recalling her 82nd birthday celebrated a year prior, where they had enjoyed her sweet voice live and offered their love and respect, she expressed a deep reverence and emotion. The Prime Minister stated that although her voice was now silent, her songs would continue to live on in their memories and hearts, concluding with prayers for her eternal peace and expressing her deepest condolences to her two daughters, family, and the people of Sri Lanka who loved their voice. Leader of the opposition Sajith Premadasa, addressing the speaker, expressed his profound grief and condolences over the sudden passing of Nanda Malini. He shared that he had personally known her since his childhood and used to affectionately address her as Nanda Malini Auntie. He highlighted that during the transformative 1977 election campaign, while around 95% of artists and musicians were on the United National Party platform, Nanda Malini chose not to be on that stage. He praised her exceptional quality of standing firm and unblemished in her noble humanitarian principles according to her conscience. Speaking candidly, the opposition leader referred to the tragedies of 1971 and 1998 to 1989 in the country's history, noting that she stood up directly for the youth generation and humanity. He pointed out that successive governments had opposed her views and stances and that she was at times denied space in state media. Although he was not in politics during that era, the opposition leader acknowledged that as representatives of that political tradition, it was important to reflect on those actions. He concluded by praising her as an outstanding artist, offering his deep condolences and wishing her the bliss of nirvana.
Now, moving on, a meeting of the Special Cabinet Subcommittee and Officials Committee appointed to address the impacts of the El Nino climate phenomenon was held today at the Presidential Secretariat under the patronage of President Anurukumara Dissanayake. The state official said that according to current forecast, the sea surface temperature in the eastern Pacific Ocean had risen by about 3 degrees, leading to over 90% probability of a strong El Nino developing. He added that global meteorological centers predicted that phenomenon would peak between October and December and continue with a 90% probability through April of the following year. Addressing the impact on Sri Lanka, he stated that while September would experience lower than average rainfall, October, November and December were expected to receive above average rainfall. The official noted that January would likely see near average rainfall concentrated mainly in the northern and eastern provinces, whereas February, March and April would see significantly reduced rainfall well below average, making that 3-month period the most challenging period. President Anurukumara Dissanayake stated that assurance could be provided regarding irrigation and that no issues would arise in areas supplied with water from main reservoirs. He emphasized that water authorities needed to know how much water could be supplied through main reservoirs and determine their specific capacities. The President mentioned that if water cuts were necessary, it was important to identify which regions would face risks and to communicate with the affected public to take necessary action, rather than waiting until problems arose. Referring to the Mahaveli program, he noted that plans had already been set for when cultivation should end. Regarding agricultural support, President Dissanayake highlighted that fertilizer subsidies previously stood at 25,000 rupees for paddy and 15,000 rupees for other crops. He stated that this had been increased up to 30,000 rupees for paddy and noted that different prices previously existed for paddy and other crops. Consequently, the intention was to provide an equal fertilizer subsidy for all crops grown in paddy fields, with a decision expected before the upcoming Maha season. The President also emphasized the importance of maintaining an uninterrupted power supply to prevent issues during the upcoming Maha season. He cautioned that a problem could arise during the 3-month period from February to April of the following year due to declining water levels in reservoirs. He added that discussions had taken place with the Ministry of Power and Energy to determine how to meet the electricity demand during those months using all available energy sources. President Dissanayake noted that plans should aim for a 5% surplus beyond normal requirements, assuring that no power supply issues would occur within the current year. Finally, he stressed the need to focus on ensuring continuous supply of essential goods and services during that period, as well as caring for groups that might fall into distress due to the situation.
According to the Disaster Management Centre, 25,628 families from 7 districts are affected as of now due to the prevailing extreme dry weather condition. Munaragala district has the worst affected, where more than 33,000 persons belonging to 10,264 families are affected. The other districts affected by the dry weather condition are Ampara, Badulla, Batikla, Polonnaruwa, Ratnapura and Hambantota, and steps have been taken to provide drinking water facilities to those areas. Kivul Ara tank of Thanamalvilla, Nilvayaya and Bodhagama tanks, along with a number of other reservoirs and agricultural wells, have also dried up, according to our correspondent. Farmers say that a number of their crops, including brinjals, ginger, banana and other crops, are faced with risk of being destroyed. A number of grasslands in Munaragala district are also destroyed. Although a dry weather condition is prevailing in certain areas, Kasarwe and Mausakale catchment areas are receiving intermittent rains these days. According to irrigation engineers in charge of those reservoirs, Kasarwe and Mausakale reservoirs have reached the spill level. With the increase in the water level of both these reservoirs, generation of hydroelectricity at Canyon, Lakshapana, New Lakshapana, Polpitia and Vimala Surendra power stations are in operation at their maximum capacity. The Department of Meteorology says several rounds of rain might occur tonight and tomorrow in Western and Sabaragamu provinces, as well as Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, and Mathura districts. Some rains will also occur in the northwestern province too. Mainly, a dry weather will prevail in the rest of the areas of the island, according to the weather communique. The Met Department informs the public to take necessary steps to minimize dangers caused by temporary winds and lightning, along with thunder showers.
Now moving on, 5 people have died and 3 were injured in a road accident occurred at the 19th mile post area, Kumbhakkana, Munaragala. The accident occurred in the early morning today. A group of 36 persons had arrived towards Munaragala from Buttala in 3 tractors for a religious festival at Kebilitha Devalaya. One tractor carrying 10 persons had collided with a tipper on a bridge at 19-mile post area at Kumbhakkana in Munaragala. According to our correspondent, the persons travelling in the tractor received serious head injuries when a metal sheet of the tipper struck them. 8 persons were admitted to the Munaragala hospital with severe head injuries. The 5 dead persons have been identified as residents of the Duramgala, Buttala and Horabokka areas. According to police, both the drivers connected to the accident were taken into custody. Munaragala Police Motor Traffic Division is conducting further investigations regarding the accident. Now, the cremation ceremony of the renowned song lyricist, Most Venerable Rupavahini Siddhartha Thera, who died, was revered as a monk icon in Sri Lanka song culture and passed away recently, took place this evening.
It was held at the Dehiwala Sri Saranankara grounds with the participation of a large gathering of clergy and laity. Born on May 22, 1950 at the Kosnilgoda Government Hospital in Moravaka to the couple Baranivela Liyanage Simon and Sobana Hami Liyanage, the child Baranivela Liyanage Ananda was the eldest in a family of 7 children. Raised in the Rambukana village of Moravaka in the Mathura district, the child Paranaviraliyanage Ananda entered the order of monkhood on 22nd July 1963 at the Valiva Ganga Tilaka Viharaya under the name Rambukana Siddhartha. Having received his primary education at the Valiva Buddhist Mixed School in Moravaka, obtained secondary education from the Hettavala Pirivana in Gaul and the Sunetra Devi Pirivana in Papaliana. Higher ordination was bestowed upon him in 1972 at the Royal Mangala Uposatagara of the Malvattu chapter in Kandy. Subsequently, he obtained a degree in Buddhist philosophy from the University of Kelaniya. Loving songs and poetry from his youth, Most Venerable Rambukana Siddhartha Thera contributed to numerous creations as a lyricist as well as an author. Most Venerable Rambukana Siddhartha Thera is the lyricist of many popular songs such as La Talubopat, Awata Vasata Huruminisune, Pipena Malakata, Sandavaturakse, Kandulu Hela Nambiliyata, Sanda Tharumal, Bana Kiyana Rata, Me Prema Katha Navata Mohata, and Pihitak Nati Saranak Nati. Hospitalized recently due to an illness, the Thera passed away on the afternoon of the 18th. The remains of Most Venerable Rambukana Siddhartha Thera, who was 76 years of age, lay in state at the Vallavatta Sudharma Rama Viharaya until this afternoon. A large crowd of clergy and laity arrived to pay their last respects to his remains. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasurya also paid her last respects to the remains yesterday. The body was taken this afternoon from the Vallavatta Sudharma Rama Viharaya to the Dehivala Shri Saranankara grounds where the cremation ceremony was organized. Subsequently, the funeral assembly commenced. Following the religious rituals, the condolence message of the President was presented by the Minister of Public Administration, Provincial Councils and Local Government, Professor Chandana Abeyratna. The condolence message of the Leader of the Opposition was presented thereafter. The Mahasangha, representing the three Nikayas led by the Anunayaka Theras of the Malvattu chapter, Most Venerable Dimbul Kumbure Vimaladhamma and Most Venerable Nyangoda Vijitasiri, along with political representatives, artists and a large gathering of people attended the event.
Game pansal, ape pansal, ape kamarakka, ape danedi, ape malanedi, ape langedi.
We'll be back with more local stories after a break.
Life is always a treat with Prima Treats.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
We continue with more stories here at home. President Anurakkumara Dissanayake has instructed the relevant officials to release the lands acquired for defence purposes in north and eastern provinces and hand over to the relevant owners with immediate effect. This instruction was given at a meeting held with the security divisions in Parliament yesterday. The President pointed out that the private lands and government-owned lands used by the public, which were acquired to set up military camps during the war period in the north and east, should be released to the relevant parties. President stressed that national security is significant in this move and it is the responsibility of the security divisions to decide the places of establishing military camps. He also instructed the relevant officials to take a final decision on the releasable lands based on the national security. The President also stated that in addition to the releasing of the lands, the livelihoods should be facilitated for them. Accordingly, the President instructed to the Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture to introduce agri-projects with high productivity. Minister Ramalingam Chandrasekhar, Deputy Minister of Public Security, Aruna Jayasekara, commanders of the three armed forces, secretaries to the ministries and many others were present at the discussion. Moving on to news overseas now. Former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has been returned to prison after undergoing several medical tests at a hospital in Islamabad. Foreign media reports that he was sent back to prison after doctors confirmed he is in good health. The country's Supreme Court has ordered that he be hospitalized within 48 hours following complaints regarding medical conditions. In accordance with that order, a team consisting of cardiologists, ophthalmologists and general medical specialists examined him. Imran Khan, who was arrested in 2023, was also granted court permission to meet with his family members, and Pakistani media reports indicated that one of his sisters was present at the occasion. Security was also tightened in the areas surrounding the Shifa International Hospital. Moving on to sports news now. National javelin throw champion Ramesh Taranga is due to compete in the Lucerne Diamond League Athletics Championship today.
Now his event commences at 12:45 a.m. Sri Lanka time. A media briefing was held yesterday with the participation of sportsperson participating in the Lucerne Diamond League Athletics Championship. National Javelin Throw champion Ramesh Taranga also participated at the event.
This for Diamond League. My personal best is 92 and this is an incredible throw and I'm very excited. That is the good season. This is the 4 Diamond League, 4th one. I'm very happy. Julian Weber is the very incredible throw in the last competition and I think he's coming in the Lucerne but he's not competing in the Lucerne. He's come and Lucerne and this is the very competition. He's good, he's really good. His first throw in 80 and second throw 70, 75, 78, 79 and he's keep going to the 90 again. And this is the good competition with Weber. I hopefully he's coming in the World Ultimate Championship. We'll see.
Now another 23 days are remaining to the commencement of the Colombo Marathon 2026.
It will commence on the 13th of September from the Golf Face Green in Colombo. The national television is the official media sponsor of the event.
Hello everyone, this is Yevan David, FIA Formula 3 racer from Sri Lanka. I'm really proud to support the Colombo Marathon 2026, which is taking place on the 13th of September. It's a really great initiative to bring people together from Sri Lanka and around the world with the message of peace, humanity and a healthier Sri Lanka. I may not be running this year, but I'm really proud to support everyone taking part. So, lace up and take your steps towards humanity and peace.
Marathon is coming to Sri Lanka September 13th at 6 a.m. live and exclusive on Channel I.
Now that's all the news we have for you tomorrow. See you again at the same time bringing you the news. I'm Kenza Farooq along with Sharifa Tahir. Good night.
Good night.